In this week's Pets Practice, Lisa visits Bonbeach Primary School, where a special visitor helps children with their reading. Nigel rescues a magpie, which is caught by a string on its leg, high up in a tree. Later, Dr. Kevin hosts a bulldog get-together at Vets on Parker. But first, Julija and Flick show us how to shake paws.
Hi and welcome to Flick's Tricks. I'm Julia and this is my blue border collie Flick. Your training challenge in this segment is to teach your dog to shake paws. By the end of today's training session, your dog will want to shake paws with everyone. How awesome! As with each and every training session you do with your dog, make sure you have lots of rewards ready to go. Small bits of food or even your dog's breakfast or dinner is perfect. Remember that your dog doesn't get freebies though. He or she has to work for the food that you have. A game with toys can also help to break up the training session. We're going to teach your dogs to shake paws. Did you know that most male dogs will favour their left paw, while female dogs most likely to be right-pawed? For this exercise, it's fun to maybe let your dog pick which paw he or she will want to give you. If you continue training beyond this current training session, you'll be able to teach both paws. When I put out my hand, I want my dog's paw to hit my palm. We can then shake paws. The exercise ends when I let go of the paw, upon which your dog will probably want to do it again. Any dog is able to do this exercise and should be able to perform if sitting, lying down or even standing. It's a great trick to teach dogs that are sensitive to have their paws touched because the dog will begin to really want to give you their paw.
This week, Vets on Parker is hosting a bulldog get-together where owners can share stories and Dr. Kevin gets to give some hints and tips about the bulldog breed.
Got the standalone French here, one Aussie and then 4 British bulldogs. So have you all introduced each other? Yeah? Cool, so I just thought I'd say a few words and just give you a couple of pointers on some of the minor health problems that I see with bulldogs. And I mean, we all know, you guys have all got bulldogs, you know how such great dogs they are. Unfortunately, you also know that there can be some minor health complaints that they can be afflicted with, and out of kind of all the different breeds we see at the clinic, bulldogs probably are overrepresented in terms of the number of problems we do see with them. And I suppose most of you here, I've had a brief discussion with the skin has been, whether it be the ears or skin complaints seem to be probably the most common. A couple of suggestions I've got in regards to managing skin problems is first the use of essential fatty acids or fish oils. I think it's really, really important that any owner of a bulldog supplements their dog's diet with fish oils. Fish oils are nature's anti-inflammatory. They're not only great for joint health, cardiovascular health, but they really can be quite effective for skin problems. They can actually help reduce skin allergies. So there have been some dogs that I've been able to just manage completely by utilising fish oils in their diet. And that can be as simple as utilising things like sardines or tuna on a regular basis throughout their diet, or even better, supplementing their diet daily with fish oils. Dogs should have about 1,000 milligrams per 10 kilos of fish oils, and it can be as easy as using fish oil capsules that you can get for yourself. I was chatting, I think, to you earlier in regards to the interdigital furunculosis that a lot of dogs, I know Tyson's had it as well. It's a really common problem with bulldogs, is where they get these interdigital cysts in between their toes. And basically, it's a combination of their weight, heavy-set dogs, and the really short hair follicles. They basically get ingrown hairs all throughout that area. And it can lead to pretty constant irritation, can lead to really large interdigital cysts that can be quite painful, and sometimes they even need to be surgically removed. But they could be probably one of the most frustrating things a bulldog owner faces, because there's not one treatment that works consistently all the time to eradicate them. So it's more a situation similar to his ears, where it's just a management situation. What I find works really well, and we've been implementing with Tyson, is the peroxide sort of wipes. And that's something that you need to be starting really from the under their pads. Often we see them kind of erupt through the top, but they actually always start underneath their foot pads. That's where the problem starts, and that's where you need to be cleaning out on a really regular basis, both underneath and on top, using dilute peroxide. About 3% peroxide works really well, helps remove dead skin. It also helps break open the hair follicles, which helps, again, to reduce the chance of these interdigital cysts from forming. Nothing is 100% at eradicating them. I wish there was, but it's a matter of just managing them and keeping on top of it on a really regular basis.
Animal Rescue, Nigel speaking.
Animal Rescue, Nigel speaking.
Animal Rescue, Nigel speaking. It's a Sunday afternoon, it's a beautiful day today, and we've got ourselves a magpie. I've had 2 calls about him this morning. I've got up here as quickly as I can, so we're going to go for a climb up the tree and get this poor fellow down. Looks like one of his legs is tied up with a bit of white string. It's a very common situation that happens at this time of the year, because the adult birds, they're putting material into their nest as nesting, string, twine, fishing line, and these little guys get it caught around their legs, and if they're lucky enough to be able to leave the nest, this is what happens. Let's go and get them down. Now we've got to be very, very safe when we do this, so at all times I am connected to the tree through my harness and my safety gear. I don't recommend anybody at home to do this. It's going to be a difficult one to get out because I've got so many branches. It's like a little forest jungle through here where my rope's going to have to come on and off constantly. So before I disconnect the one around the limb here, I've got to connect another one. So at all times, I'm always tied to the tree. If I was to slip or faint, that I'm not going to fall very far.
I'd like to welcome my rookie dogs and their owners. We've got Julie with the little Ruby, and we've got Sue with the big sized Morgan. And we're going to see if these guys can start shaking hands. To start with, we're going to use a technique that I like calling a bit of frustration release in the dogs. We're going to load our hands with a whole heap of treats. We're going to pop it to the dog's nose, and our dog will lick and chew and gnaw and carry on. And hopefully in some sort of anticipation or oomph, they're going to lift up a paw. Yes, good girl. Lift up a paw off the ground. The moment they lift that paw up, don't forget to mark with a yes or a click and follow through with giving that treat. Yes. And Flick likes to give too. Good girl. So I'm just getting her, she's not touching my hand yet, yes, but this is the starting steps of teaching her to shake hands. As an alternative technique, if you find that your dog just isn't lifting that foot off the ground at all, or getting too excited and jumping up for the food that's in your hand, what you guys could try doing is manually lifting up a foot and dropping it in your hand. Yes, and then following through with a treat. So I'm going to manually lift up a paw, drop it in my hand and give a treat. And before long, your dog will probably get the pattern that as they lift up their paw and it touches your palm, a treat comes. So in order to get a treat quicker, you're going to lift up the paw, touch it to your palm in order to earn that treat. Most dogs offer this behaviour once they've learnt it. You ask them to sit and they sit and automatically lift a paw. But make sure you don't let your dog train you. If you ask for a sit, then a sit it should be. The cue for this trick is generally the presentation of your hand. And you can also link it to words or phrases like shake or shake paws or how do you do, maybe even give me 5. What a lovely way to meet a new dog. Or even say bye, see you later. Until next time, bye. Good girl.
Today, Lisa is visiting Bonbeach Primary School in Victoria, where each week a number of children look forward to a visit from Jennifer and her very special dog, Larry.
Larry is not your average dog. Every Monday, he and his owner Jennifer visit Bonbeach Primary on Melbourne's Mornington Peninsula for one very special reason.
Jennifer, what kind of work do you do here with Larry?
Look, we've been coming here for about 4 years. Larry is a therapy dog. We're here really to help the children read, and we're here to facilitate their reading. But what we also do is we throw in a little bit of safety around dogs to make sure the children know how to be safe around dogs. But the main priority is they learn how to read.
Great, so it's all encompassing, really.
It does, and they have a lot of fun, which makes them want to come back and read more.
Great.
And that helps, particularly the children that don't have good skills at reading. They want to come to school because it's reading to Larry morning, and that works well for everyone.
Great. Well, we're about to get the kids through, so I suppose we'll get set up.
Yay, well, thanks a lot.
No, thanks, Jen.
So good morning everyone, we're here with Larry this morning and we've got a special visitor. We've got Lisa here from Pets Practice who's going to watch what we do with Larry, and you're going to show how clever you are and how well you read your book to Larry. Would you like to do that?
Yes.
Yeah? Well, what's the first thing we say when Larry arrives?
Good morning, Larry.
Let's say good morning to Larry.
Good morning, Larry.
Oh, he looks very happy to be here and his ears are all ready to start listening, aren't they?
A great deal of research suggests that reading to animals gives kids a big boost in confidence. Not only do they find reading more fun, but they're progressing to more difficult books at a faster rate.
What about you? Do you have a dog at home?
Yeah. He has a bulldog.
Do you read to your bulldog?
I do.
At night time you do. What are you reading to him at the moment?
I read to my cat and my bird and my fish, and I have sea monkeys.
Do you read to your sea monkeys too?
Who's going to shake Larry's hand first? Okay. We'll start the book with the boys. Come around here. Good boy, Larry. Tell him he's a good boy. There we go.
Principal Ken Jones says the effect Larry has on the students spreads beyond the classroom.
G'day, Ken.
Hey Lisa, how's things?
Good, yeah, I've just been reading to Larry and with the kids, and it's so much fun. How important is it for a program like this to be in your school?
Oh, look, we're really lucky because a program like this is excellent for the kids reading. They get so much enjoyment out of it, and with enjoyment becomes they get confident, and confident readers make good readers.
And what kind of feedback have you had from parents with kids in this program?
Very, very positive. The parents love Larry nearly as much as what the kids do, which is great. You know, you almost see the parents try and grab a book to read to Larry as well. A lot of positive feedback about the benefits, especially with how much the kids are taking the books home and reading at home as well. So I'd say to any school, go for it.
Therapy dogs aren't just brought into schools for programs like this, but you'll see them in hospitals bringing a smile to sick kids and in nursing homes with the elderly. What's achieved here in 1 hour is quite incredible, and, well, Larry's only too happy to do it.
Animal Rescue, Nigel speaking.
Now, here comes the fun part to see whether or not I can get out there. Okay, matey, we've got you. Okay, let's have a bite. Matey, 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 look at you. Yes, just a little juvenile. And as we can see, that lethal piece of string. When you see that on the ground, looks innocent enough, but as you can see what happens, quite often it's tangled around the feet so tightly it cuts all the swelling off. We end up with dead toes, but as I say, that limb is not broken. It is extremely swollen. He's got a bit of an abrasion there. Almost there. There we go. It's all off now, matey. Beautiful. So that little piece of string that you see lying on the ground that looks innocent, as I keep saying, that's lethal to our wildlife. Taking a little bit of water there. There we go, that's nice. Yeah, that's going to help you by the time we get you down to the wildlife shelter. Another successful rescue of a magpie hanging out of a tree. And you're one lucky little fella, aren't you? Yes, you are.
It creates a little bit of a foreign body reaction. Does anyone have any particular questions about any kind of particular health concerns that you've had or are having with any of your dogs?
Just that peroxide, do you buy them as wipes or do you put the peroxide on them?
I generally recommend just purchasing the dilute peroxide and using baby wipes or even gauze. Okay. Gauze is almost slightly more effective because it's got a mild kind of exfoliative, because it's mildly abrasive.
Just their teeth. Always paranoid about giving him anything when he can chew up. You can break it if it's choking.
Yeah.
So you can't really, like I started giving him them big bone, you know, the big marrow bone.
Yeah.
But I'm just paranoid.
No, you're absolutely right to be paranoid. Yeah. Dogs with big mouths, big throats, like golden retrievers, generally manage those sorts of bones without a problem. These guys, they'll chew it into a bigger piece, they'll try and swallow it, and you can have real problems. Some bones like chicken, raw chicken necks, raw chicken wings, they're generally bones that can be well managed. It is important that they're chewing something regularly to keep their teeth clean. Having said that, what you're doing I think is working beautifully, because I couldn't fault his teeth at all. They're really, really good. No sign of gingivitis, but you can't safely give them big beef marrow bones like you can some dogs, not at all. So chicken frames can be good, chicken necks, chicken wings. Some dogs are better chewers than others. Just inhales them whole. Yeah, does he? Some people will utilise dry food pieces, whereby the pieces are substantially larger as well, and they can be really effective just at keeping their teeth clean. Some of the manufactured products, Greenies Dentasticks, or even some of the nylon bones.
Kevin, coming into winter, and you know how a lot of people put coats on their dogs to, like when they're walking them at night time, and actually when you take them for their physical walk. Being a bulldog breed, and with their breathing and
how necessary is it?
Yeah, because obviously their only way to sweat is through.
I mean, anything that is going to increase the chance of them overheating, you need to be very mindful of. Light jackets aren't probably a big problem, but they certainly don't need big coats and those sorts of things through winter, because anything, you want to be avoiding anything that's going to increase the chance of them overheating. The only way dogs can lose heat is through panting. And that's why bulldogs are so prone to overheating, is because they're inefficient panters. They're just not as good at releasing their heat compared to other dogs, because they've got, I suppose, less surface area in their mouth for the heat to evaporate from. So, you know, some owners of bulldogs just don't walk their dogs when it's warmer than 25 degrees. It's just kind of the house rule.
Riding horseback along a sandy beach with the wind in your hair and the sound of the waves crashing, it's all a little bit romantic, isn't it? Well, today I'm actually going to do it. And my tall, dark, handsome date for today? Well, Sadie, I think you'll do. Gunnamatta Trail Rides on Victoria's Mornington Peninsula run horseback tours every day of the week, and we're along for an adventure. Ash, you're taking us on a trail ride today. I'm a complete novice. Do you get many newbies on the rides?
Yes, we do. Every day, new people come in, nervous people, brave people. We take them all, we teach them all.
Great, and what are some of the things that you teach people to help them if they're first timers on a horse?
Definitely to hold on to the saddle.
Yep.
To keep your feet underneath you, and actually have to stand up and sit down. If you just sit there and bounce around, it's most likely going to bounce off. So we teach people how to, trot.
And with horses, I know they can be temperamental. What is the trick to getting along with your horse?
Keep them well fed.
Okay. Have a pocket full of carrots, maybe. But before I trot off into the hills, safety first.
You'll be going under a lot of trees, and there's a few low branches, so whenever there's a low branch you will need to duck under that one, particularly if you're on a very, very tall horse. Most of all, sit back, relax, have fun. That's what it's all about, okay guys? Awesome. Let's go outside now and get started.
Thank you. I did it. Long time ago.
Okay, so let's give you a refresher.
All right, I've just been given the commands brief. All the way to the left means turn left. All the way to the right means turn right. Both hands back means stop. Hopefully I won't have to use that one too often, hey? Hey, Sadie? That's it. Good girl. Ooh. Today's tour winds itself through coastal bushland and alongside bright green paddocks all the way to St Andrew's Beach. Learners like me have plenty of time to get a handle on the basics. Now, where did I stash those carrots? I think I'm doing all right. We've done a little bit of, a rising trot, and I haven't fallen off yet. Sadie and I are still getting used to each other, but we'll see how we go on this little stretch. All right, away we go. The team at Gunnamatta Trail Rides have been leading horseback tours for decades, showcasing some of the Mornington Peninsula's most spectacular landscapes. Advanced riders can pick up the pace if they like, while the rest of us sit back and take it all in. That was fantastic. My goodness. At times I thought I was in a romance novel, other times I thought I was in a wild western, and other times we just stood and ate grass, which was a little bit naughty. I learnt a few things. Firstly, to always take charge. If you say it, mean it. If you mean it, do it. And secondly, just have fun. That was amazing. That's one of the best experiences I've had. Honestly, it was phenomenal.